We have an exciting game coming to us Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Bowling Green is taking on Texas A&M. I'm Randall Leggett Jr. and we got Hunter Ziesman here. Hunter, what are your thoughts coming into this A&M Bowling Green game?
I'm excited for this game. I think initially looking at the schedule, we didn't put a whole lot of stock in it because we were looking ahead to Arkansas and Missouri for the next couple weeks for Texas A&M. But this is a Bowling Green team that's been pretty solid this year. So now all of a sudden, this is a real test for Texas A&M. Bowling Green, they've only played 2 games so far this year. They had a week 3 bye a little early, but they played Penn State in a game that Penn State fans were not expecting to be that close, 27-34 there in Beaver Stadium. So I think, this is a big test for Texas A&M. It's not a freebie by any means. And then we do have the looming quarterback situation there at Texas A&M. Connor Wegman day to day right now, but I think it's safe to say that Marcel Reed will be starting this game. He's looked, in my opinion, against Florida last week. We have that to look at. He's looked better than Connor Wegman. So if he plays well in this game against Bowling Green, who is a solid team, who do you go with going forward? So to me, that's the big headlines for this game.
Yeah, and look, if you're A&M, it's better to be in a position where you have a quarterback controversy because there are 2 comparable quarterbacks versus your backup being not as good and you're waiting for the starter to come back. So great situation for them to be in, I would say, from a positive perspective. When you think about what Bowling Green was able to do against Penn State, what would Bowling Green have to do in this game to keep it close?
Yeah, so for Bowling Green, the story is their quarterback, Connor Bazelak, former SEC player, started his career at Missouri, won 2020 co-freshman of the year in the SEC. He's played against Mike Elko when he was DC at Texas A&M in 2021. He lost that game 14-35, threw 2 picks, no touchdowns. Mike Elko might have his number, and he's playing, different team this year. He had the pit stop in Indiana before coming back, but he's done well. You can't get them off the field. That's where Penn State struggled with Bowling Green, is getting them off the field. They're converting 52% on third down, which is by far above the average and what you really need to be doing to win a game. So for Bowling Green, it's continued to have these extended drives. Defensively for Bowling Green, they've had 7 sacks so far on the year. From what we've been talking this week, that might not sound like too much, but you got to remember they've only played 2 games. So they're averaging 3.5 sacks a game, which is solid. They bring pressure. They are not scared to play aggressive defense, letting guys be more, open in the back, in deep downfield, because you are bringing some linebacker pressure, bringing some safety pressure. So for Bowling Green, it's getting Marcel Reed off his game. He looks great against Florida. They struggled to bring that pressure. But I expect A&M to pound the rock early, establish the running game, and force Bowling Green to maybe make some adjustments defensively that will open the game more for Marcel Reed.
Yeah, and for A&M fans, like what should they get excited about seeing from Marcel Reed?
So, last week it was the dual threat look from him. He was only 11 for 17, but he had 178 yards in the air, 83 on the ground. I liked from him the way it looked like the playbook was designed for him. He was able to take off, get those extra yards running, some designed runs here and there. It's tough to stop. If you're a Texas A&M fan, like you mentioned, you have 2 quarterbacks. It's not a situation of which one of these guys is going to be able to play for us. It's you have 2 guys, which ones, they're both good. Both guys can play. Both guys, I think, in my opinion, would win this game. But you have this guy who's developing at a pretty quick rate. For A&M, the thing to look for in this game, we talked about third downs for Bowling Green. I think this is going to be a game of third downs. Texas A&M is just over 20% right now at converting, and they're really not good at stopping third downs. So they're not staying on the field for extended drives long enough. Bowling Green's been great at both. So for Texas A&M, you want your team to add those chunks. We mentioned in weeks past, Texas A&M still trying to find their footing in the rushing game from their running backs. If you can't establish that, you're looking at third and longs, third and unmanageable. What I want to see from Texas A&M, put Marcel Reed in positions where he has third and extremely manageable situations, extend the plays, and defensively, you need to put pressure on Connor Bazelak. He's experienced. He knows what he's doing. He's been on multiple teams. He's played against Mike Elko before. I don't think that really benefits him too well. I don't think that there's enough that he can have taken from that game to attack this defense in a really solid way. So for A&M, keys to the game, play diversity and give unique defensive looks. Challenge this quarterback. You're playing a veteran quarterback. For Bowling Green, if you want to win this game, You have a young quarterback on the other side of the ball. Pressure him. Then continue to do what you do on third down. Extend the plays, extend the drives in the air, pick apart A&M. We know that teams can do that. The DBs have had their lapses at times. They're still coming together as a defensive unit. But you're going to have to score points to beat A&M. I think A&M will score consistently. You're going to have to do like you did against Penn State and put up, to win that game, they would have had to put up, 34 plus. In this game, Texas A&M 23-point favorites. Texas A&M to win in my book, but I don't think that they cover. I think A&M by 17 in a 31 or 30-13 game.
And 52.5 point, I think, over under. You talk about the spread, and this is the Bowling Green is tied for first in the MAC right now at 1-1. A&M is 2-1, 25 in the nation. So we'll see if your prediction comes out. If you enjoyed this preview, please go to our page, follow, subscribe. We have full-length content. We have recaps every Tuesday, and we have previews coming to you later in the week as such. Thank you for tuning in. This is the new SEC podcast. Hunter, you killed it.